Hey, what's happening? So, here I am on the eve of a Liverpool-Manchester United game in the Premier League. Liverpool have a 100% start to the season, which is just mad. They stand on the precipice of equaling the all-time record for consecutive wins in the Premier League, which is 18, which is held by Manchester City at the moment. And the only thing standing between them is the biggest historic rivals of the football club, Manchester United, who fall on hard times. Now, I haven't done one of these kind of videos in a few weeks. There were some accusations in the comments that this channel was basically becoming just an outlet to bash 888 Sport. So here's what they've been saying this week. They've done an all-time combined Manchester United Liverpool 11.
Centre mid, Gerrard.
Scholes.
Nah, see, I'd take out Scholes and put Alonso.
I'd take out Gerrard and put Alonso if we're taking out one of the players. Is what it is. Man got Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Nah, Salah.
You've got the best finisher
Suarez.
probably in Premier League
You've got
history.
the best tapping goal scorer in Premier League history.
The best finisher.
The most exciting league in the world, and we're going with the most exciting players. I'm telling you, Salah and Suarez.
Go and check the video out. It's on the 888 Sport YouTube channel. I'll link it below. But, I mean, for a start, combined 11s, I think they've had the day, to be perfectly honest, but we're here. I think it's relatively interesting. One of the reasons I find it most interesting is because this week I have been invited to do this type of content a few different times, but in very different ways. It's a week in which Danny Mills and Jose Enrique both did combined 11s in which they put 11 Liverpool players in, because that's the world we inhabit now. We inhabit a world where Liverpool are so good and Man United are so not good that no Man United players would get into a Liverpool side at the moment. So what's been happening because of that? That's all very interesting. That creates a little bit of talking. You know, oh, isn't that funny? Ha ha ha. It's a bit of a gag, but it kind of kills content because you become a bit of a one-trick pony, and it's been done now. So what are you going to do? So I've had tons of rules enforced upon me this week in telling me that you have to include Man United players, or you've got to rank the Man United Liverpool players, or, you know, in this instance, you've now got to do an all-time Man United Liverpool 11 because you can't do a current one because Liverpool are so good. The problem is that Man United still win pretty much an all-time 11, I reckon, because let's be honest, what always happens in these, and you see it in the 888 Sport video there, you got the United fan there, just sat there, you know, obviously really moody, downbeat. And he should be, because his side are crap. So you've got to go back to the past to think of all the good things that have happened. Now, these are being now, and now what's happening is it's the Premier League era. Because if we did all time, a lot of those United players would actually struggle to get into to get into a side. But we're going to the Premier League era, and that's what Man United have got at the moment, and rightly so, because look, the best side that the Premier League has seen has been Manchester United. They've won the title more than anyone else. They've had, you know, they've been annoyingly, and not just annoyingly, they've been heartbreakingly good for all that time. But this is what they're left with now. They can't do current 11, so they have to do all-time 11s. And the problem is when you get into all-time 11, what you end up is what's he won. You can't have Steven Gerrard in because have you never seen Gerrard win the league? No, mate, but I saw Gerrard play football, and I know for a fact that he was better than any midfielder that ever played for Manchester United. And then you've got all the oldies going, Brian Robson. Fuck off, Brian Robson. So I've done one anyway. Look, I've spared absolutely no expense in creating a graphic for those of you watching the video of this. Yeah, there you go. I'll talk you through it then. I've gone Peter Schmeichel in goal. I think the best goalkeeper of the Premier League era. It's really interesting though, because in terms of like Man United goalkeepers, it's very close between him and Edwin van der Sar. But you know, Peter Schmeichel, I actually grudgingly loved him as a kid. As a goalkeeper, he was fantastic. When I was going through those formative years playing in nets, he was the best of the best. So there's that. Left back, I have to agree with 888 Sport on this one. I've gone Dennis Irwin. There'll be younger viewers who are like, who's Dennis Irwin? And that's The problem you have when you get into these all-time 11s is there's a bunch of players that are just accepted as being really, really good. Mercifully, I'm old enough to remember these players. So Dennis Irwin, fantastic. And Liverpool have struggled for really good left-backs in the Premier League. They really, really have. Think about some of the names that have applied the trade there. I mean, one of the best left-backs that Liverpool have had in the Premier League era was Jamie Carragher. And that's no disrespect to Jamie Carragher. That's a disrespect to the fact that he was also one of the best centre-halves we had as well. But that's how poor the quality was. Look, we had Dominic Matteo, who was good. We replaced him bafflingly with Christian Ziege, who was fucking god awful, and then Jamie Carragher had to come in for a season and do a job there. I think Andy Robertson could do it, but look, Dennis Irwin was a phenomenal player. So Dennis Irwin probably shades it in a couple of seasons. It might well be Robbo. Centre back pair and Virgil van Dijk. Look, best in the world. And this is the beauty of what's starting to happen now, is that we've not been able to put Liverpool players into these sides, and all of a sudden we've got boss players who are winning awards and winning big trophies, so it's very difficult to make the arguments against them. Virgil's going to be partnered with, if I was going for pure old school where you balance things out and you have like a cultured commanding centre half and you have a bit of a scrapper alongside him, I'd go with Vidic, but I'm not. I'm just going to put Ferdinand in because he was the all-round best footballer, I think, although still, you know, prone to lapse of concentration. But I guess people say that about Virgil as well these days, don't they? So yeah, Rio. Right back, there'll be a clamouring in the comments, I think, of ever many Manchester United fans to say Gary Neville in this. Gary Neville, very, very overrated right back. Gary Neville, he was very lucky that Rob Jones was injury prone, is all I'll say, because Rob Jones was a much better all-round right back than Gary Neville. He's better than Phil Neville, and that probably makes him seem better than he was, and he had good players. He was fine, he just had to defend. Gary Neville wouldn't get into a modern side looking to change. He wouldn't get into Man City's side, he wouldn't get into Liverpool's side. DMs, Keane and Gerrard, yeah. Keane, absolutely fantastic, and Steven Gerrard is Steven Gerrard. I've gone 4-2-3-1, which allows me to do Ryan Giggs on the left, the best left winger the Premier League has ever seen, without a doubt. Eric Cantona in the 10, because he was so instrumental to that United side that won so many titles. I've gone Sadio Mane on the right because I don't think there's a massive, you know, Kanchelskis or Sharp in there, are we? Or Steve McManaman, because he didn't really, really achieve that his heights with Liverpool. And that allows me to go Mohamed Salah up front, which might raise a few eyebrows. If you watch the 888 video, it goes big on Van Nistelrooy, and look, Ruud Van Nistelrooy was phenomenal, absolutely fantastic, one of the best centre forwards the Premier League's ever had, without a doubt. And I can hear cases for Fernando Torres. I think I could make a very strong case for Luis Suarez as well. And I think it's between Suarez and Salah for me, because look, Salah's not strictly a centre-forward, is he? But we've seen him play centre-forward. He can play centre-forward. Played a spell of last season in that position in a 4-2-3-1 for Liverpool as well. And when Liverpool go to that formation, he does play in that. So I think there's a fair reason to do it. The simple reason is, look, you're talking about a guy who scored the most goals anyone's ever scored in a single Premier League season. And in that regard, I'm putting him in there, and in putting him in there, it means I could also put Sadio Mane in on the right-hand side. So there you go. I've tied it up in a neat little package. Look, you could quite happily put Salah on the right-hand side, and you could put Van Nistelrooy or Torres. In fact, you know what? Screw me graphic. It is written in ink. I'm going to put Salah on the right, and I'm going to put Luis Suarez centre forward. Sorry, Sadio, but I think Sadio Mane come the end of the season, or by the time he leaves Liverpool, will be very, very much in these teams without a shadow of a doubt, because there's a degree of recency bias to all these things as well. If you've not, there's a temptation to shoehorn players that you see more recently in, is what I'm driving at. And also on the flip side, when you do all-time 11s, there's a temptation to put people in simply on name. And if it's simply on name, look, that 11 would be very familiar to what we've seen with the current 11, where it's all Liverpool. You could do an all-time Liverpool United 11, and it'd be all United players, because look, Liverpool have won the Premier League. So how can you have an all-time player being an all-time Premier League 11 who's not won the Premier League? You know, if I was a man kind of, and a more of a weirdo than I am, I could run riot with that argument all day long. So you could go Schmeichel, Irwin, Ferdinand, Vidic, Neville. You go 4-4-2, so you've got Giggs on the left. You'd have Keane and Scholes in the midfield. You'd have Beckham on the right, and then you'd have like Cole and York, or you'd have Cantona and Van Nistelrooy. There's loads, because as I say, I've lived through it. We've all predominantly lived through it. Man United being absolutely incredible, having the best players and winning all in sight. But I console myself with the fact that, you know, Liverpool may not take all 3 points. Liverpool might lose at Old Trafford, but Manchester United are not. For the first time in my life as a football fan, Man United are not Man United anymore. They are not the big power. They are not the big boys. They are not the supreme superpower in the Premier League anymore. And I think that is absolutely fucking delicious. And I am enjoying every sweet, tasty nibble and morsel of this delectable treat that is the Premier League table that doesn't have Manchester United on top of it. Feed it into my face and soul. Look, let me know your all-time Liverpool United combined 11s in the comments. I'll put a little bit of a comment over on there. Go and leave them on the 888 Sport YouTube channel as well. If you don't know how to get to the link, you can use the links below. Otherwise, just type in 888 Sport on YouTube and head over there and give them their thoughts and opinions, because there's a couple of odd ones in there, a couple of odd shouts, which I won't dive into here. But yeah, I mean, look, ultimately, in years to come, it's telling that I've got what... prior to the Suarez change, I had 4 current Liverpool players in there, and it shows you for the first time in the Premier League era, Liverpool have an absolutely elite football side, and one that it's not hard to make strong cases for the players being included in there, because you're talking about best in the world, best in the positions, which is absolutely magic, and let's hope it continues so we get to a point where combined 11s are not just all Liverpool players in the here and now. In 2 or 3 seasons, it's very, very possible that we could be doing an all-time Premier League 11 that is nothing but Liverpool players. And I absolutely love that. If you love that, drop a like on that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Maych TV is here for you with thoughts, feelings and opinions, and hopefully a match blog if I don't get stabbed from Old Trafford at the weekend as well. Thank you very much. See you all soon. Ta-ra.